Today we're going to be making a little bit of magnesium hydroxide and sodium sulfate. Just a quick warning, this experiment deals with highly corrosive materials and gloves and goggles are an absolute must. This method is very similar to making calcium hydroxide, but instead of calcium chloride, we're going to be using some magnesium sulfate. So first off, I'm going to measure out 6 grams of sodium hydroxide. And note that I am using a soda can because it's easily disposable and accessible. I meant to say 6 grams, not 8 grams. Oh, I've got 7 grams. Let's just let a little bit of that out. I then decided to measure out 8 grams of magnesium sulfate. It's a little more than we need, so I'll just empty that out. There we go. So I transferred my sodium hydroxide into a 125 milliliter Erlenmeyer flask. I want to make sure that I pour this safely, so I will then add enough water to dissolve the sodium hydroxide, but I won't film it. I added the water, and I will now swirl it around until all my sodium hydroxide dissolves. Keep in mind that you do not want to splash or spill this. It will burn and blind you, as the aqueous solution is even more dangerous than solid sodium hydroxide. Cold water works best for this experiment, but it's really hard to keep the sodium hydroxide solution cold, as it's very exothermic. Next, dissolve your magnesium sulfate into water and make a solution. If we do a quick pH test, you can see that the magnesium sulfate solution is about 3, but it's not much of an acid. It might just be my pH paper. You can see that a pH test shows that the sodium hydroxide is a strong base, and I don't know where the pH, it was right here, that this was a weak acid, about 6. Next up, we're going to pour our magnesium sulfate solution into our sodium hydroxide solution. You should see a white precipitate. The kind of reaction occurring here is a double displacement reaction. I think I'm going to need a bigger thing to do the reaction in. So I extremely carefully poured this solution into a mason jar. I'm then going to mix this together, trying to dissolve any sodium sulfate formed. Well, de-sodium sulfate formed, because sodium sulfate is soluble in cold water, but magnesium hydroxide is only slightly. Very, very slightly. I then put a filter paper, well actually 2 filter papers, over another mason jar and started filtering the solution. I immediately stopped filtration and put it back into this bottle because 1, it's extremely dangerous to filter that method, and 2, it would take a few weeks. So I'm saving up for a Buchner funnel right now. I should get one really soon, and then I can filter it. So now I'm just spraying everything with some vinegar to neutralize any base. So yeah, see you in a few weeks.